I'm at the shop, Dominic. I am with a customer and you are disturbing my work.
All right. How is work going? Why is it so quiet there?
Wait, what are you trying to imply? That I'm lying?
The waves sparkled under the golden sun, framing a lush private island like a painting. It was my birthday, and I reveled in the attention of billionaires, celebrities, and dignitaries. Wearing a stunning regal dress, I commanded the crowd with confidence. An orchestral band played, and as servers brought out a giant cake adorned with gold leaf icing, fireworks lit up the sky, spelling out my name, Cassandra. As the crowd chanted my name, the scene shifted abruptly, replaced by the peeling walls of our one-bedroom apartment. Dominic, my husband, stood over me.
Cassandra. Cassandra. Wake up, dear. I'm about to leave for work.
Dominic, a striking man with a muscular frame, worked tirelessly at menial jobs, but the life he could offer was far from what I desired. 3 years into our marriage, I felt trapped in that small apartment, longing for the luxury I had once experienced in my dreams. I had fallen for Dominic's charm while working in a brothel, and although he treated me well, the promises of a better life remained unfulfilled. I prepared breakfast for him, masking my frustration with a forced smile. After he left for work, the moment the door shut behind him, my smile vanished. I slumped onto the bed, aware that my beauty, the one asset I had, was fading under the weight of our circumstances. At 30, the fear of time slipping away consumed me. Returning to my old life was not an option. I had hoped for a better future with Dominic, but life had not delivered. Love wasn't enough. I yearned for more. My mind raced with possibilities, but all felt like dead ends. I needed a way out. That afternoon, I decided to visit Dominic at the construction site where he worked, feeling guilt over my negative thoughts about him. Dominic was shocked, but pleasantly surprised to see me. My presence commanded attention from the other workers, who paused to admire me, though I pretended not to notice. Dominic felt a swell of pride. I was his wife, and seeing me admired reminded him of his luck. After handing him the food I brought and chatting briefly, I walked away. As I exited the worker's view, a sleek, luxurious car stopped beside me, and a slightly older man greeted me warmly.
Good afternoon, beautiful. What is a goddess like you doing walking under this hot sun?
I smiled, feeling my charm still intact. I discreetly removed my wedding ring and hid it behind my back. We introduced ourselves. His name was Atokolo, and he owned the construction company working on the building project Dominic worked at. I glanced back at the impressive structure, a clear symbol of wealth. With my smile brightening, we exchanged pleasantries and phone numbers. As his driver pulled away, I continued walking, my footsteps lighter. Atokolo and I began talking frequently on the phone, ensuring that Dominic never found out. I took calls secretly, often stepping outside or locking myself in the bathroom. Atokolo eventually asked to see me again, but I, knowing how to keep a man interested, acted reluctant.
Look, Mr. Atokolo, I am happily married and I love my husband. I am not like other cheap women.
Atokolo didn't give up. Instead, he started sending me large amounts of money, more than I had ever seen, even at the brothel.
All right, fine, let's meet. But we are not doing anything. It's just a simple date. That's all.
One day, while Dominic was at work, I stepped out of our area, where I could be recognized, and waited by the roadside. Atokolo came to pick me up in another of his expensive cars. He took me shopping, places I had only seen in pictures, and to classy restaurants. I had the best day of my life. I smiled non-stop. My joy was full. Eventually, we went to a hotel where we became intimate. When I got back home, I felt no guilt. Dominic wasn't home yet. I had hidden all the clothes and jewelry in my shop before I came home. There was no space to hide such things in our one-bedroom apartment. I lay on the bed with a wide smile. The day played in my mind like a movie. From then, Atokolo and I met frequently, deepening our bond. Meanwhile, Dominic noticed changes in my behavior. I was becoming more distant. I avoided intimacy. I snapped at him more.
My angel. Was missing you, so I called to hear your lovely voice. How are you today? What are you up to?
I'm at the shop, Dominic. I am with a customer and you are disturbing my work.
All right. How is work going? Why is it so quiet there?
Wait, what are you trying to imply? That I'm lying?
Babe, I wasn't implying anything. Fine. I am sorry. We will see at home. Later, dear.
He trusted me. I was careful. I used the money to buy things for myself but didn't spend too much on the house, just enough to avoid suspicion. When Dominic asked,
Wow. You got a lot from the market. How did you afford this?
I told him,
Is it now a crime to assist my husband to provide for the house? Anyway, my hair salon has been doing really well lately.
at home I dressed like I always did. But for Atokolo, I changed into my fancy clothes hidden in the shop. I barely opened the shop anymore, only when I wasn't with Atokolo. Even then, I didn't take customers seriously. I didn't have to work now. This went on for months. One day, Dominic came home beaming with joy. He burst through the door, lifted me into the air, and spun me around, showering me with kisses. He couldn't hold it in. Dominic had always been hard-working. He showed up early, stayed late, and helped others without being asked. Though he was just a regular worker, others looked up to him. He led without a title, and his efforts had finally been noticed. He had been promoted to construction manager, the highest position on site. It was a miracle. His salary would be 100 times more. I was stunned, overjoyed. Deep inside, I believed Atokolo had a hand in it. I couldn't think of another reason. While still soaked in happiness, Dominic and I rekindled our passion that night. It had been a while. The next day, Dominic dressed in a clean-fitted suit and headed out to his new role. I also went out to meet Atokolo. We met at a hotel, and I thanked him warmly for promoting my husband. Atokolo, smiling, said,
"Oh, don't mention it at all, dear. I would do anything for you. Now you can enjoy my money through me and your husband, and enjoy this lifestyle without hiding and living like a pauper at home."
I felt seen and cared for, and I gave my thanks the best way I knew how. Before we parted ways, Atokolo asked me for something odd, a spare key to my house. I was caught off guard and asked,
Why would you need a key to my rubbish house?
Come on, babe. It's nothing crazy. I just want to surprise Dominic and you. Not as your lover, but as Dominic's boss. You don't trust me?
I hesitated.
Of course I trust you. I am just worried my neighbors will see you, and we could get exposed.
But Atokolo reassured me.
We will be fine, babe. We won't be exposed. It's just a surprise for you family. Might be a new house or a car. You don't know. So just trust me, babe.
He sounded confident. And since I was still feeling thankful and trusting, I agreed. Things went beautifully. Dominic had received his first salary advance, and he didn't hold back. After investing part of it in different ventures, he took me shopping, bought me gifts, and spoiled me like a queen. Seeing this side of him made me feel guilty. I saw how much he truly loved me. Maybe he just needed money all along. Still, I comforted myself with the thought that this new life only came because of my connection with Atokolo. But all that joy lasted just 4 weeks. Then everything turned dark. I had been feeling strange. After a test, my fears were confirmed. I was pregnant, 4 weeks along. Wait, why aren't you subscribed yet? Please subscribe. It's just a button away. Like and share to your friends and enemies so they can all enjoy and learn. Would also love to know who your favorite character and worst character is so far in the comments. I called Atokolo right away and told him. To my surprise, he was happy. Really happy. But I was afraid Dominic would find out. Atokolo told me,
Oh, is that why you sound so down? Don't worry about it at all. Have you been intimate with Dominic at all these past 4 weeks?
Yes, just one time.
Then you can tell him it's his. He won't suspect a thing. You can even sleep with him today too to make it more believable.
It made sense. I agreed. I didn't want to lose either of them. I planned to tell Dominic that evening when he got home, but disaster struck. The news flashed across the TV.
Breaking news. A building under construction at Greenland has just collapsed while construction was going on. Many workers are feared dead, injured, and missing. We go live to the scene.
The words hit me like thunder. My heart dropped. I didn't think twice. I ran out of the house, heading straight to the site. It was a mess. The area teemed with emergency workers, fire trucks, ambulances, and a massive crowd. The tall building was now nothing but broken concrete and dust. People were crying, some screamed, some prayed. I fought through to the front, only to be stopped by security. I yelled that my husband was inside, but for my safety, they wouldn't let me in. Inside the site, Dominic was alive but injured. Still, he didn't care about himself. His mind was on his co-workers. Bleeding and limping, he helped pull others from under the rubble, working side by side with firefighters. He held in his pain, fighting to save lives, but his body gave out. He collapsed and was rushed to the hospital. I followed Dominic to the hospital, terrified and worried. He was unconscious when we arrived, but after a few days of treatment, he began to improve. I never left his side, helping him with everything and praying for his recovery. Just when things seemed to be getting better, something worse happened. On the day Dominic was supposed to be discharged from the hospital, police officers entered and arrested him. We were both shocked and confused. While Dominic was recovering, rescue teams had been searching through the rubble of the collapsed building, revealing a heavy loss of life among the construction workers. A few were injured, but most did not survive. Due to the seriousness of the incident, an investigation started immediately. Experts were brought in to determine what caused the building to collapse, uncovering that the materials used for the construction were fake and unable to support the building's weight. Atokolo, the owner of the construction company, was called in for questioning. He brought documents and financial receipts that pointed to Dominic. His documents implied Dominic had been stealing money for quality materials and accepting bribes from a cheaper company. The evidence was strong and damaging. Dominic was shocked and repeatedly claimed he hadn't done anything wrong. He explained that he had just been promoted to construction manager a few weeks prior and had only been a regular site worker before that. However, the documents stated otherwise, claiming he had been the construction manager for about 8 months. The police didn't stop there. They searched our house. Inside the ceiling, they discovered boxes of cash, millions of naira hidden away, further implicating him. It was all overwhelming. The company provided him with a lawyer. Instead of defending him, the lawyer advised him to take a plea deal, which meant agreeing to plead guilty in exchange for a lighter punishment. But Dominic refused, adamantly maintaining his innocence. I was heartbroken and confused until Atokolo called me to meet privately. We met secretly while Dominic was still incarcerated. During the meeting, I asked Atokolo why my husband was being accused when he was also one of the victims. Atokolo sat me down and began to explain. First, he declared how much he loved me.
Babe, you know how much I love you, right?
He called it a mistake.
Look, the truth is, I mistakenly hired a company because they were cheaper. I was a fool. I let my greed take over because, I won't lie, the project owner paid for high-quality product.
Atokolo confessed.
6 weeks ago, my geoengineers reported that the building would soon crash. If I had stopped the project, I would have been done for because the financial penalty would be too much for my company. I needed someone to take the fall, Cassandra, and Dominic was the only one I could point to. First, I hate that I have to share you with him, and secondly, he was suspicious of the materials I bought. And so I promoted him and made fake documents that show he has been manager for months, that he bought the fake materials, that he collected bribes, and I even planted some money in your house. The evidence is almost perfect. All I need now is you to make it 100% perfect, Cassandra.
You need me? After everything you just said, what do you need me for?
Babe, if you can just testify against him at court, the work will be done. You can just say he has been acting strangely, or buying things he can't normally afford with his job, then it's case closed.
I was in shock, realizing why Atokolo had asked for the spare key to our home. Facing him, I recognized the man in front of me was responsible for the deaths of many people. My husband was innocent, yet he was about to be punished for something he didn't do. I told Atokolo,
You don't even care about the innocent people that died. You still want to ruin my innocent husband. I never knew I fell for a monster. I want no part of this. I won't lie against my husband.
Grabbing my bag, I headed for the door. But before I could leave, Atokolo dropped to his knees and begged,
Cassandra, please, think about this. I am trying to protect us. I know I am wrong, but nothing can be changed. Those dead people can't come back. And I won't make this mistake again, please. We have a child on the way. Do you want it to suffer? Think about it. If your husband is let go and I'm arrested, he is going back to his poverty, jobless and unable to care for you and our child. Cassandra, babe, please just do this one thing and I promise you, I will take care of you forever. We can get married, free to live our lives. Cassandra, I love you, please.
I paused, my mind racing. But deep down, I knew what I had to do. I could never betray Dominic. During the court hearing, all the evidence gathered against Dominic was brought forward. The courtroom was tense. One by one, families of the dead construction workers came forward and shared their pain. Some wept, some were angry. Survivors who had worked on the project but were not close to Dominic also spoke. They shared what little they knew, and many assumed Dominic was guilty simply because of what they had heard. Then came the worst part. The people who had collected bribes, the ones involved behind the scenes, lied under oath. They pointed fingers at Dominic. They said he was the one who planned it all. It was as if everyone had turned against him. Dominic sat there, terrified. He had no power, no control over what was happening. His only hope left was me. I was the one person who knew the kind of life we had lived. We had stayed in a small one-bedroom apartment for years. If he had been hiding millions of naira, wouldn't he have made our lives better? I walked up to the witness stand. Tears ran down my face. Before the lawyers could ask me anything, I began to speak.
I want to first apologize to every family here. I know an apology will never be enough, but to everyone who lost someone, I and my husband are truly sorry. I have been married to my husband for 3 years.
Dominic looked up at me with a glimmer of hope. I cried even more.
I never knew I had been married to a sick and selfish man who could steal at the cost of people's lives and lie to me, his wife, throughout the marriage. I suffered alone while he hoarded millions. There were days where I didn't eat at all, and all this while he had hidden stolen money at our roof. I don't know how he became so cruel. But I forgive you, Dominic, and I hope everyone else can too.
Dominic felt his entire world collapse. He could no longer remain silent. He stood up and shouted,
Cassandra, what are you talking about? I would never do that to anyone. How would I then do that to you? Don't you know me at all after all these years?
Still in tears, I replied,
I guess you can never truly know someone.
Deep down, I knew that statement was talking about me. I had chosen my future. Dominic sank back into his chair, overwhelmed. The courtroom fell silent for a moment. It felt as if all the air had been sucked from his lungs. His heart shattered into pieces. His wife, the one he loved and had protected, didn't believe in him. Dominic was found guilty and sentenced to 40 years in prison. His life was ruined.